Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's time for the Cayman Cup, 1.5 hours. Are we live with qualifying? Not yet.
Not yet.
We're a few minutes away from going live with qualifying, I believe. In the seat, as you might be able to see from the name, but that won't matter later, is DirtenDK, my good buddy. And co-driver for this race. The first time we actually do a split seat, we're quite excited about it. Especially being as we're racing with a play seat challenge, and we've had to practice the procedure for changing drivers to make sure that we have time for it during the pit stop. That's probably one of the raciest things we've done. Raciest, that means something else as well. But it wasn't that racy in that regard, you know what I mean. So yeah, we're just seeing DirtenDK getting warmed up here. As we agreed about a minute ago, the strategy here is going to be DirtenDK in the hot seat for qualifying, and I'm going to be taking the start of the race. And then after about 45 minutes and a few pit stops, a few stints, it's going to be Dirten in the driver's seat, making that all-important driver change. Hopefully we'll get a smooth one through. Because of the sound setup we have, you won't be able to hear much of what Dirten is saying. If he's saying anything at all, let me tell you, focus face is fully activated here. It's time to set some fast laps, as he was doing before he was impacted by the penalty. We have no idea what the level of the field here is. Honestly, we don't know many of these drivers, so it's going to be interesting to see. The first few hints will come once Dirten manages to get a lap in without penalties. As we described with the main event of the IGTL, the 3 hours in the GT3 class, bit of a moment there, nicely saved by Mr. DirtenDK. As I told before in the other stream, penalties aren't removable, and they won't be during this race as well. Any penalty you get will count towards your finish time, so hopefully there won't be any of those for us. Let's see. Dirten setting off here with a 53.2, which is a very, very good time, at least as far as we're aware of. I can see other guys are doing 52.1s as the fastest. So definitely some fast guys here, and I wouldn't expect anything else.
To say that I just lose it.
Yeah, seeing the results of pushing too hard, he decides to crash as I'm taking a sip of water, making me unable to react to it immediately. Edging closer and closer to qualification. Just as I start that sentence, Jamal says that we're now 1 minute away from going live with qualification. Qualification will be a short 10-minute session, I believe. So not a lot of laps to do anything here. If it's about a 52, 53, 54 minute lap, that only gives him about 5. And that's providing that his outlap is clean and with no hassles and not having to wait too terribly long. It's an interesting prospect having to commentate sitting about a meter away from the driver, my co-driver and teammate, because I feel like I shouldn't try to say anything too terribly funny or too terribly interesting, because it might put him off. So please don't feel left out if I'm a bit more quiet during these qualification laps. This is all important, and we have our hearts set quite hardly on not losing face too much here. We kind of want to do well, even with the complete lack of practice we've had. We agreed to do this as a split seat, I think about 4 hours ago, so not too terribly long to prepare for this race that we're obviously expecting will be of a high caliber. So we're getting close to that lobby restart we saw in the last qualification session, and that means the qualifying will be live and everyone will be free to get on track and get their outlap done with. and dispatched as soon as possible. We see Dirten use the rare tactic of taking the outer line, picking up some of those rubber pieces lying around out there, getting that extra bit of grip. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time for another qualification session, this time in the Group 4s in the Caymans. This, of course, being a one-make series. No tuning allowed, everything just bone stock BOP. Dirten getting a great start to his qualification session here, coming out in front. Now all he has to do is to keep his head calm, and he'll have clean air for the first lap. Shout out to Rips in the comments I haven't seen before. I was just setting up the PC. Hello to you. Yeah, cheers, Rips. The main race, I'm afraid this might not have been said clearly enough right at the beginning of the stream. The main race, the 3-hour GT3 race, will be hosted tomorrow night. Same time, same place on the interwebs here at YouTube. So please tune in tomorrow if you're interested in seeing how that works out. Obviously, this is more of a feeder race.
Actually, the race tomorrow is going to be starting at 6 o'clock Central European time.
Oh, sorry about that. That was a bit of a mistake on my part. The race tomorrow will start at 6 o'clock Central European time. I'm repeating what Dirten says. What Dirten said as he was finishing his outlap, putting on gloves, not touching the steering wheel, and correcting the caster. So plenty of mental outlook here as we see Dirten pulling up towards Crazy John, CJ of the Bird team, and also of the New Shot Endurance series that we race every week. So familiar guy to us, and one that we know to have a great pace. But yeah, Rips, 3-hour race tomorrow, 6 o'clock Central European time. We'll be streaming it here again. Hope to see you there tomorrow. Getting a great exit coming out through here. This looks to be a very nice lap. This is gonna be in the 52.6. What a great start. Other guys, 2 guys are faster. The BFR racers are both ahead by about a second. Here we have it's 27G also finishing ahead. This is proving to be a decent time, but not a world killer by any means from Dirten. He's in 5th place. Obviously, still more than half the session to go here. So once again, a qualification session with a lot of French racers at the head of affairs. The French in GT Sport are notoriously fast, I've got to say. Sometimes it seems like a nationality has a bit of an edge on everyone else, and in Gran Turismo a lot of the time it's the French. With regards to the penalty system, Rips, I'm actually not sure. It's really cool. We were debating it, Dirten and me, before the stream as well. It's something that would definitely be something we would consider for... we're working on hosting series and stuff like that we'll be announcing once it's all said and done. And it's definitely something that's interesting for us as well. But at the moment, I actually don't know. Maybe we'll try to get that sorted for you and have that information for you tomorrow. So stay tuned. Already we're seeing the first few people jumping to pits, getting on some fresh tires. BFR's just on the limit there, opting for that very wide line we've seen before. He did get a penalty for it this time. Let's hope he gets out of the way. He does. Gives Dirten a bit of a spook there. I think Dirten had maybe even a bit of a touch on the brakes. Now Halbstark also setting a fast time, moving up. Another guy's also jumped ahead of Dirten. He's now in P7. BFR Nice or Nice, I'm not sure, is in pole. Schosse in second position, setting a great time as well. These guys are almost 1.5 seconds ahead of Dirten at the moment. He just pins that corner. See what he does. That was certainly a good lap. 52.2 moves him nowhere, but certainly an improvement. Strong driving from Dirten. This is an impressive pace in relation to what we were doing in the limited amount of practice we've had. I certainly feel like we picked the right guy for this qualification session. It's an interesting dynamic having to decide who you want to do the qualification, who goes first and who goes second. We don't really know which was the right way to go, but I certainly feel like the pace he's setting here, I'm not sure I'd be able to do that. So. Perfect exit there. Hello Stick, I'm not sure if he's also on the Red Bull, but I can tell you we've had a few cups of coffee, so maybe that's what you're seeing. I've always felt like he was quite a steady driver. The input I'm seeing him put into the wheel is quite steady as well. This is going to be the final lap for Dirten, coming through the last corner. Will he be able to improve? He lost a lot of time through Sector 2. Unfortunate. not able to improve. That's going to be P8 for half the race gone. I don't think we'll see many changes in the front of affairs either. Shit. I was supposed to do the start, so we're going to do quite an impromptu little driver change here. Whoops.
And with that, it is our DirtenDK. So, hey Rips, we are using the Logitech G29, and Trout is going to be doing the start in well, there's going to be full start check, there's going to be no traction control, and they're off. And a great launch there from Trouso. Here is that Trout gets a brilliant start. No damage, no damage. Yeah, that's an F-worthy situation for Trout there. But the race will be long. We will come back. Trout's already beginning to catch up to the bottom of the field. I'm okay. We'll come back fighting from that start. He had a brilliant start, and then he just lost it. So now we just gotta settle into a rhythm and pick our way up through the field. Now getting close to the Frenchman in front there. Looks like that guy in front might have some damage. So
So it should be somewhat easy pickings here down the back straight to Tralso. Times that perfectly. And that's the inside line for the corner here. And he makes easy work of that. We'll be doing our best to avoid rage in the tiny roll cage that folds together in the middle of my living room. You gotta remember that we agreed to do this race this afternoon pretty much, and I think Trials has had around 40 minutes of practice and I've had a bit more than that, maybe an hour or so. Still not much. Trials doing a good job now of picking off the bottom of the field. I'm catching up to El Loco 13, the Belgian, who is entering 11th position at the moment. He's getting into the slipstream there. In front gets slidey on the exit out of turns 1 and 2, the first chicane there, and into that long right sweeper, but nowhere really to pass. Now also Netso 72 appearing in front. The German seems to be going a little slow here at the moment. Oh, as the Belgian in front goes wide, this is the opportunity to Trials, but he will be on the outside for the next turn here, but catches the Belgian there on the braking strong move, taking the chance just as it arises, and Trials really redeeming himself. Already catching up there to Netso 72. Netso's going wide there, might cost him a penalty as Trials picks up half a second. Never mind that. And Netso just moves over, realizing that it's a long race. So far away from that one Trials. Now he has some clean space. We can see the penalties are really harsh here, and drivers have to be super careful not to get struck there. And of course, all the while Trials is in the driving seat, I will be here chatting with you and also figuring out what to do with strategy and such. Trials looking good at the moment. Perfect line through the right sweeper there, difficult one because the crest there, pretty much at the apex of the turn, just wants to push you up to the outside very much more than what nice is. Now it looks like a little bit of a battle is developing out front. That might just be to our aid at the moment. Trials gaining on the leader. The first sector looking very good. And of course, should you have any questions or anything you'd like to know, or well, please do not hesitate to bring it forth in chat, and we'll do our best to answer it. Right now, Trials is 11 minutes into the race, into his stint of the race, and having started in 8th position, he made a mistake on the first lap, had a spin, and went to the back of the field, and now he is catching up and picking off drivers. He's already overtaken 3, and he is also catching up to the Hungarian driver in front. Still gaining on P9, now within 7 seconds. I think each driver will have 2 stints on his hand, 2 stints of about 22-23 minutes. And the first stop will be just tires, and then the second wheeling also to give us a bit of extra time to do that all-important driver switch. As we have the first driver coming out of the pits there, in turn we are up into 9th position now. company from behind, and of course the Frenchman in behind is on completely fresh tires. It'll be a tough struggle. He's on the inside. He's probably just gonna pass. There's a cut bug opportunity there for Traus. Nowhere really to go. He has to concede. I think that's fair. All things taken into consideration there. Concentration is very deep from Traus at the moment. There's a great line there with the hairpin. So the drivers in front now picking up penalties, we see. And definitely getting closer to those guys in front. While the gap behind is also certainly growing. Traus trying to get Arrow in the seat. Vent til 20 minutter. Ja. 22 minutter. Du skal beholde den så langt, ellers så går det pit nu. Du synes det er bedre. Ja. Sorry, but usually we don't speak in Danish, but Traus is very concentrated at the moment, and I think he just needs to have his way in what is easiest right now, and that makes very good sense. We see here the Hungarian in front now making a little bit of a mistake. Traus catching up quickly after a bit of squabbling going on in front now, maybe a chance. Oh, the Hungarian there, he goes wide. In the danger zone for a penalty there. Oh, as he also gets Traus up into 9th there, taking the Hungarian. Turn 1 a strong one there for Traus. He's continuing to battle his way up through the field. Getting close to our starting position now. Great job there of just holding it. Perfect line to the right sweeper there, across the crest, coming down towards the left turn hairpin. It's a little bit of a slide on there. Manages to keep it. 2, that's a really strong lap at this moment on long tires. So I guess 25% of the distance gone. And Trout will be due for his first pit stop at the end of this lap. No doubt the tires are really beginning to die. And hey Rips, no, we haven't pitted yet. We haven't pitted yet. We are about to for the first time. Gets a great run through the hairpin there and the following turn. And also now slowly catching up to at least one of the guys in front. Now the Hungarian in front is pitting in, and we'll probably have him in the pit lane. It'll be interesting to see if we've lost or gained time on this pit round. We were about a second and a half, 2 seconds in front when we came in. Certainly looking to come out stronger here. Having gained a long time. We gained 3 seconds there on the pit stop. Super nice. Hey folks, back again with you, live on the mic, and yeah, indeed the stick is true. CJ doing very well at the moment now. Sadly he's disappeared out the top three, but he is going very well, CJ, generally at the moment. That has to be said. That corner right there. Oh, CJ just paired good. We're still battling on, we're still holding out. Still managed only to pick up half a second of penalty. Still a lot of racing left to do here. Just over half an hour completed now. And at this point we are nearing the last 10 minutes of trial stint. And that in turn of course makes me a little nervous, because that means I am getting in the car soon, and it is some big shoes to fill. Trials having put in laps that are quite a bit faster than anything I've put in at any point yet, really. So I'm glad he's built up a 20-second advantage to the Hungarian driver behind, Katsi. Just pick up another penalty for something that didn't really look like a huge infringement. It has certainly been minor stuff that we've been picking up penalties for. Charles has done a very good job of keeping his foot off the pedal on a few occasions that he's actually been off track. Behind us fitted in a huge gap behind of 43 seconds. We are a little bit on an island at the moment. Trials on a very strong rhythm at the moment. In the last 3 laps, steady 52s. The first real signs of tire wear here on the second stem. There's a yellow flag up ahead, and that's the Swiss driver BFR J84 having a huge moment there. A big problem for him. He had a spin in the final chicane, it seems. Bad run, it seems there, the Swiss losing time. Brilliant save, bro! That was a nice one. Almost gave me a heart attack there. There's also a little bit of that tire wear, or a little bit. It's actually really now kicking in, and it's getting visible on the lap times of trials. You're seeing that the car isn't responding the way it did just a couple of laps prior. And especially the front end at this time is of course beginning really to lose its grip, making it so hard for trials to keep the speed there. Does a very good job here of keeping speed in through this corner. It's really gaining here. deficit also still gaining now within 2 seconds of the Swiss driver in front. Braking point for turn 1, cutting half a second off the deficit to the guy in front. Brilliant. Getting on the throttle perfectly timed as well there. Brilliant stuff. You see that deficit in front is just disappearing. And the guy in front, oh, he really overshoots the entrance there. So we're also coming up to some lap traffic for the first time. Good job of holding that one. Tag det roligt Peter næste omgang. So I will be getting my final preparations done, and I will be muting the mic for a second, and Trout will be right back with you in a very short while. We'll Spain 2 for my stint of the race. We'll see you in a bit.
What's up everyone? Trials back in the commentary booth in the passenger seat. That was quite a disappointing start, huh? Even the dog thinks so. Also, it's kind of weird, I couldn't hear anything Dirten was saying at any point, even though I'm supposed to have like a monitor. I didn't hear anything, so I have no idea what he was saying. Hopefully it was good. Yeah, I just pushed it a bit too hard. Coming out of the corner, we just saw Dirten coming out of, and I just put one tire in the sand, and that started a tank slapper I wasn't good enough to save. Disappointing stuff. Made up a few positions again, so that's good, but we're pretty far back by now. I think we were expecting to have maybe a tiny bit of warm-up between the qualification and the race, but I think Tomas knew that we were a bit behind schedule, so just wanted to do a quick start to finish early. Perfect, and straight off, Dirten is setting a nice pace. 52.3 is very nice. We have 4.7 seconds up to the rest of the VFR drivers that are getting closer. Here we're dealing with a bit of traffic, trying to lap a local. Line already, even though I'm not sure that was the correct time to move out of the way. Let's hope he's going to do so now. Giving him a bit of flash. Yeah, he holds off. Perfect. And a bit of friendly signaling to him to thank him for the kindness. Yeah, always a difficult moment we see there. It just breaks your rhythm, even when the guy is really friendly and skillfully gives you space. It still kind of breaks your rhythm, and sometimes you make some small mistakes just afterwards. The gap to BFRJ is now 5.2 seconds. In the lead we have Schosse 97, glaube ich. He's leading ahead of BFR Nice and Halbstark, looking to be quite the battle up there. The gap down to us is now a minute. So obviously they're on quite the pace. CJ has the fastest lap at a 150.3, and that's very fast. That's quite far off what I'm at, so I think I was 52 points. Hitting the curb on the inside a bit hard there offsets the balance of the car, and he starts slipping. Starting to pick up a bit of time again on BFRJ. Oh, and just as I say that, curse of the commentator, he gets knocked off his line. Almost touches the sand, but lost him 4/10 again. As BFR goes off the line there, has to make some save on the braking there and loses a lot of time, and now Dirten's in the slipstream coming down the straight here. He's going to be closing up that gap. Now we have a bit of a battle developing for P7. Obviously the most important position in the field is P7. See Dirten taking a much more aggressive line across the curves there than I do. Getting decent traction, not following BFR's line of going all the way on the AstroTurf. I did that a little as well. Both drivers opting for the narrow line through this one. There's both a wide and a narrow line, and it's kind of hard to figure out which one's the fastest one. Let me know your opinions in the chat. If you feel like it, don't. Just entering a bit fast, but holding it nicely. He gains a tiny amount of time. That gap is hovering around 1 second. Yeah, strong exit, good line through there. Bit of slipstreaming coming down here. The gap extends though. Just a bit late on the braking, but he holds it well. Can he get a good? No. I just went a little wide on the braking there, lost a bit of time again. The gap continues to be right around 1 second. Oh, great lines through there as Jay gets a poor exit. Let's see how that develops coming down here. This is going to be quite at a pace advantage for us. From Dirten here, closing out the gap a little bit, then it extends again a little bit. Oh, he got great momentum out of there, did BFRJ. Looks like a very strong line from BFR. Meanwhile, Dirten drifts a little bit wide. That's going to cost him a tiny bit. Can make it up with a great exit here. Does everything he can. The gap continues to extend a tiny bit though. Dirten pushes too hard. I was just going to say, remember to stay within the pace. Otherwise you're going to be losing time again. Great exit through there. That's a fun corner in the Cayman. Tiny bit of slide, but a good exit. Jay up front chooses the medium wide line. I'm not sure what he was going for there. Bouncy, bouncy. Dirten pushing it through those chicanes. Chicanes that send you bouncing around when you push across them instead of going around them. But even though you're jumping around and you lose traction, it's probably still faster. At least that's what I did. Jay has now extended his lead to about 2 seconds. He's doing some great driving here. Increasing the pace when he realizes the threat from Dirten from behind. Dirten just pushing with everything he has, and sometimes you just push that bit too much and you get a tiny bit of understeer, and that's what we saw there. Had to make a tiny correction there, that cost him a little bit as well. Jay is proving harder to catch than we were hoping. Hello there to La Chaîne du Whoop. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. My French isn't the best. Great to have you on the channel. I think we're starting to see a bit of the costs of pushing as hard as Dirten did in an attempt to make up the difference to Jay. Now we have quite a bit of accelerated wear on the left side tires. I'd say a bit worse than I had through this period in my stints. And that's not because of a more aggressive driving style, that's just when you're pushing that hard, it's impossible not to shred that little bit more. Going that very aggressive line all the way onto the AstroTurf on the inside of the left-hander. This time getting the line right, getting the throttle position right. Strong on the corner there. You see he sets his personal best first sector. Gets hit by the curse of the commentator and kind of loses traction on the braking. Jay must have had some incident. He's lost a lot of time. Some strong driving from Dirten, but not enough to make up a second and a half across 4 corners. We have the number 6 car of Shoutout, I'm not sure, 69. He's in the pits. That's gonna leave Dirten to pass him. Dirten still has a few minutes until his pit window. Comes out ahead though, does Shoutout. He's gonna be on fresh rubber, but this might give Dirten a chance to follow someone and gain a bit pace from that. It's hard to see him being able to overtake a car on brand spanking new tires. So let's see if he can gain anything from it before Shoutout possibly moves away from him. This is one of those times where Dirten needs to be aware of not pushing too hard. He does so very well through there. Jose, who was in the lead, is now into the pits. Come into the pits as leader, I'm not sure, but he's certainly in the pits now. MNT ATT has moved ahead. Another little moment for Durden. Keeps it moving. Off that corner. That's some Chris Harris Top Gear driving there from Durden. Just chucking it into the corner and sliding out of it. Now we're moving into our pit window. So then this lap or the next one will be the scheduled time for our pit stop. I'd say maybe stretch it. Actually no, I'd say probably pit now. Shoutout has already closed the gap up to his teammate J84 up front. Let's see how well the team execute the pass, because I'd expect Shoutout to want to move ahead on those first tires. Possibly they don't do team orders at BFI, we don't know. They certainly seem to be side by side here. Shoutout is still behind. That indicates that Jay is indeed defending, and that might give Durden the chance to come back at them here. 4.6 seconds is a long time, but if Jay's a good defender, it's still all to play for here. As MNT moves into the pits from the lead, drops back to third position. Actually, he comes out ahead. The graphics did me a hecking trick. The battle between the BFR team is being played out, and Shoutout is moving away from Jay. Jay didn't lose too much time from that. Durden deciding to go for the extra lap here. It's quite far into his stint, but I understand if he feels he has a good rhythm, it's definitely a good idea. Just worn tires he's on right now. Jay must have had a little moment. He lost a lot of time coming through that corner. That's good. Relative to the fact that he's probably our nearest competitor, probably the only guy we'll be doing much battling with, barring any incidents up front. Continues his life on the limit. Fingers crossed. Durden signals. It's through there. I wonder if Jay is coming up on a pit stop. I haven't seen him go into the pit. Maybe we're on similar strategies. Let's see. Yeah. Jay dives into the pits as well. Durden opts to stay out for another lap, perplexingly. Let's see how it plays out. He's still on good pace. Will it be enough though to give him a bit of an edge coming towards the finishing laps of the race. Hear those tires fighting. They don't have much fight left in them, but he's making them give everything they have. Bordering on 50% on the left front. That's not what you want on medium tires racing at 1.8. But I understand the strategy. I might have made the same decision. I'm not the one with the steering wheel in my hands. Sometimes it feels decent enough. So he's certainly doing everything he can. Every line is perfect, everything is clean. Let's see how this plays out. Wide through there, loses a tiny bit. Bit of action, but nice adjustment to the worn tires, still on that perfect line. To the pits he goes. He's lost about 1.3 seconds across this lap. That's quite a lot of time to gain by the end, but let's see how it plays out. Making sure to keep the driver well hydrated. He takes a sip of his yellow performance drink. We haven't secured a sponsorship yet, so I cannot name it, but hit us up. So we see Jay there go into the lead. He gains that 5-6 seconds. Yeah, so by the end, was he 4 seconds down before? So that's about 1.3 seconds, as I said before. That might work out towards the end, having just that bit fresher tires, being able to push harder towards closing stages. The gap just hovering around 5.5 seconds. If he's not pulling away at the moment, that might seem promising for the later stages, because his tires are going to be that much more worn than ours. Albeit only one lap, but everything counts. penalty for Durden. I picked up quite a few. He picked up the first one right there, more than halfway through his stint. That puts us to a total of almost 3 seconds penalty. Not the best, not what we were hoping for, but I saw worse on the other cars, I guess. Fast hands there from Durden. That aggressive line going around the inside is risky, and we see it there. Luckily he's able to save it. Jay just continuing to eke out a little bit here and there. Getting a little bit off pace. I think he's starting to feel a bit of the pressure of coming into the closing stages of the race, and Jay he's not slowing down at the moment. Gaining, setting great times, and looking good. Losing a little bit to Jay though. right back up. It's getting closer to 6 seconds again now. You have to wonder what's going on with Jay up ahead. He's lost almost a second. Flirting with that penalty line out there. It's kind of hard to tell where the line is. Yeah, he does gain 6, yeah, a bit more than half a second worth of penalty. Meanwhile, it was a fast line though, because he gained a bit of time. That won't matter unless we can beat him by 2.5 seconds. I believe Jay is carrying about a second's worth of penalty himself. So that's what we're looking at here. Dirten testing out a bit of the Baja racing, just going crazy fast across the sand. That's not the way to gain time. The gap now stands at 8.2 seconds. It's looking ever harder for us to be able to do anything about this. Like these guys are just trading mistakes right now. Jay must have had some sort of teeny tiny mishap up front. Dirten hits that corner pretty fast. I think he recognized that Jay was losing time. Another thing that can break your rhythm on occasion is realizing you're catching up to the guy you were trying to catch for the last hour. 7 minutes to go here. MNT ATT 27G. Real catchy, easy to pronounce name, is still leading this Cayman Cup race at Catalunya. Schosse 97 und halbstark 0,93 takes up second and third. German domination there on the podium. I can't tell you much about what gap is going on between them. I can tell you that I lost almost a minute to them in my stint, and Dirten's only lost 21 seconds. So I'm willing to recognize that he's probably faster right now. I don't know, looking at the times. I think maybe some battling has been going on up there as well. Gaps J now falling again, 6 seconds. line through a corner he's been struggling with for a little bit. Looking decent through there, gaining back a bit of time. By now Jay has got to start to be, he's probably feeling the heat. I wonder if this is one of the closest gaps in the race by now. An hour and 25 minutes into the race and only 6 seconds. He knows if he makes a mistake, if he puts it in the sand, he's relegated to 8th. Just cutting it bit sharply there. What will the commissar say? He won't say anything. It's at this point around now that we're hoping to gain a little bit of pace advantage on Jay. His tires should be feeling it that bit more by now. He's going to have an extra lap in him. See, it's starting to get a bit easier for him to catch up. He's certainly pushing harder and being closer to Jay's pace around the corners. Let's see how this strong exit from Dirten pays off. Before the break, so it's going a bit wide there onto the AstroTurf, not hitting the apex on the inside. Didn't cost him terribly. Drive and go. Yeah, nice one. All the way out across, maintaining the gap across the section that he's going strong on Jay. That's good to see. Is that it? Jay's definitely feeling the pressure now. He's had some kind of panicky braking. He lost a lot of time, the gap is coming down, 3 seconds. What Dirten can do now is stay calm, maintain his pace. Try to do the opposite of Jay and not get hectic, not get stressed out. This is looking great, 2.3 seconds. Just keep your head down, stay calm, Mr. Man. 1.25 seconds. Jay's panicking by now. Perfect lines from Dirten. Doing a great job of keeping a cool head. Pushing a bit too hard, losing a tiny bit of time. He was on a great pace for this lap. Jay there goes wide again. That's going to cost him a tiny bit. Dirten gets a great exit. Nice one. 1.5 seconds. If you're liking Dirten's last minute scramble for P7, why don't consider pushing the like button or hitting that subscription bell. Dirten's certainly feeling it. Just pushing it a bit too wide. What will the commissaries say? For shame, they will say, as they add half a second to our total penalty. Total penalty now only being 3/10 more than Jay, so if we get ahead, it's still all to play for here. 2 laps to go, 1 lap, 2 laps to go, yeah. seconds, 2 laps. Getting close to a second here, guys. The strategy seems to be paying off. Jay is struggling in the heartbreaking zones. The heartbreaking zones, as Ulrich likes to put it. Yep. Steady on the acceleration. Just losing a little bit. Tell you what, Jay is doing everything he can. His tires must be pretty tired as well. Good line from Dirten. They're faster than Jay for sure. Get through here safe. Get a nice exit. Come on, don't touch the sand. We're in the slipstream, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to close this up. We have 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. Within a second to P7 here. We're coming up upon lap traffic. That's Netzo 72 or Netzo 72 for those of you of German disposition. That might play into the hands of DirtenDK and myself as well as Jay has a big tank slapper there that gives us all of the momentum. Dirten lifts, holds off for now. He had the momentum. Team manager Trials is going crazy in the booth here, as is commentator Trials and all of the other Trialses. Let's go heartbreaking, shift down a second, all the way around, early on the gas. Yeah, strong exit, slidey. Nothing to worry about. Can Netzo hold him off or will he slow down Jay? This is gonna be so close. Oh, Dirten just gets in a bit too fast. Jay gets a great exit as Netzo almost crashes trying to get out of the way. Clever decision by Netzo. Come on, boy. Slipstreaming. Zook. Yeah, Jay's definitely suffering under braking there, but not enough. Last right-hand corners here. Yeah, doesn't seem like it'll be long enough straight for us to catch up here. Great driving by Jay, great driving by Dirten. What a great little finish. That's P8 for us, following a disappointing second or first lap crash by me. Bit of a stressful start to the race, but what a great finish we had there. Dirten looking exhausted and disappointed.
It was actually now I'm gonna join you in the casting couch.
Don't ever call it a casting couch again, mate. It's not even leather. I can't figure out if non-leather casting couches, is that worse or better? It's like it's aesthetically worse. But it's hygienically... No, wait. No, yes, but it's hygienically better, the leather couch.
Yeah.
Whew. What an experience, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, a few minor hiccups for us. We went straight from commentating. We didn't move around any gear or have a bathroom break or anything before going straight to the race.
But the race itself sure was fun.
Yeah, great fun. We got to do a little impromptu driver change there because we had like 10 seconds after qualification. And I'm really happy we rehearsed it because that had to be flawless, and fortunately it was. But it was hard for me because I'd just been lazing around for the last hour. And suddenly to be jumping in at full race pace first lap, that was hella stressful, and you saw how that worked out.
Definitely.
But a great race and a strong field, and everything I saw with regards to racing etiquette and stuff like that was perfect as well.
Yeah, it was
nice little lobby.
It was spot on, and sitting here looking at the laps we did and our pace, can't really help but wonder what could have been, because you were fast and I had an okay pace as
you
well.
You were faster, I think, even a little bit faster than me. So yeah, you absolutely have to wonder, because for the first long while you can't really tell if you're going slower because the guys ahead are pulling ahead, but because of slipstreaming and stuff like that. So yeah, it was hard to tell what could have happened. I felt fast compared to the guys in the field before I crashed. I felt like I was gonna be moving up for the first few laps.
But that was also the impression I was having when I was watching you there on that opening lap before. You had a brilliant start also.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
I had a bit of a slide. We hadn't been able to practice any kind of testing at all with the starts, so...
No, it was really minimal practice in general for us, but it was...
It was great fun. I wish it was possible to do like a series only with people running physical split seats like that. Like everyone had to change seats. Everyone had to have sort of a similar seat, maybe.
If you know someone who, like, if you out there in chat or whatever, if you have a buddy that you would be able to race like this with, or if you know someone else that might be able to, please hit us up, because...
Absolutely. It's something we've been thinking about a lot, doing like actual team racing. And you could do proper endurance racing.
And it's
3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, whatever.
It has been huge fun today, even with this 1.5 hour, and that 45 minutes stint just felt like it flew by.
Yeah, looking very much forward to the full race tomorrow, the 3-hour GT3 race. It's gonna be really interesting. It's one of the sickest fields I've seen, and qualification was so close, even with very different cars. So yeah, looking forward to that for sure.
Definitely so. And just a reminder that we will be back with you all tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock Central European time.
Yep.
And that will be for the Stint 1 race, and then the Stint 2 race will follow, and it'll be starting around 8:30. And we will be streaming on into the late hours until the race is over. And this, of course, given time for a bit of warm-up, a bit of
a few technical mishaps, perhaps a router reboot. This is PlayStation gaming after all.
Exactly. But I think after an eventful day and a long day of streaming for us,
pretty long day as well. Cheers, everyone! It was a lot of fun. First time for us doing something bigger like this, and that was fun, different.
Very much so.
But fun.
But very fun. So, of course, if you haven't already, you can join our Discord. You can follow us on Twitter. Links are in the description. And, of course, as I said before, do join us tomorrow for that all-important main race. The main feature of this IGTL weekend.
It's gonna be a lot different than today. It's gonna be as close to broadcast quality as we can get it. It's gonna be really cool. Cinematic cams, crazy driving.
The replay feature is back.
The replay feature is back.
And it works.
We're both gonna be here. We're both gonna be excited. We're both gonna have at least one beer during the broadcast. It's gonna be amazing.
It is gonna be. So join us tomorrow for that, and I think all there's left to say from us is to take care, to have fun, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, folks.